This video is MAPPA and the dire state of the anime industry. Oh, this is the tweets we were going through earlier. It's crazy because it's such a big industry especially in the West now, and we see it, we see that it's huge, it's a hype thing. There's TikTok trends about it, there's cups, there's merch, there's derivative products, and you're like, wow, the author, he must be a millionaire, the studio doing that, they must racking in bank, they struck gold. No, dude, no, they're making peanuts. They're making peanuts. For so many JJK channels spoil some. Oh my god, yes, I was watching I'm not gonna watch any video essays on animes I'm not finished with yet. I watched a video essay the other day, and it was also like, it was on a fight that had already passed, so I thought I was safe to watch it, and I was doing the dishes while listening to it, and I got spoiled, and he didn't even give a warning, and I was trying to react so fast to stop the video, but my hands were wet because I was doing the dishes, so there was a few 10 seconds of spoilage until I stopped it. But yeah, chat, no spoilers about any animes. Like, just keep in mind that some people, they might not have started yet, they might be watching in the future, etc. And also almost got spoiled about Arcane. I also don't want any spoilers of Arcane in the chat. I know the series just came out, not everybody's had time to watch it. I haven't finished it yet either.
Do you watch Jujutsu Kaisen?
He said it's super
it's
French.
Absolutely one of the best.
Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, as a consumer, it's very easy for us to just enjoy the products we're being given without asking too much where it comes from or how it's been made, especially when they are cheaper, especially in this economy where it's very difficult to care for another when we can barely care for ourselves. We can barely hold ourselves up. So, you ask me to care about, how this employee is treated. It's like, well, fuck, I can barely afford groceries. So yeah, if I can shave $2 on my gas or my groceries or, my animes, I will take that route. But there's also a part of me, well, right now I'm not struggling too much. I'm coasting a little bit. I feel strong, I feel strong. So I feel like it's kind of like being Gojo in an anime. I'm strong, so I feel like other peoples are relying on me, so I feel like I have more responsibilities. I feel like I can spare that energy now, and I can spare that to give it to somebody else that may need it a little more. To a certain degree, I'm not fully, not a millionaire, I'm not rich, but I guess I am not struggling like I used to be. So I feel like I can give a little bit more of myself.
Anime out there right now, it's like watching it, every episode feels like a movie. You got crazy incredible fights,
yeah.
You got killer dialogue, you've got people making 1 hour long Gojo heavy breathing compilations.
What?
What more could you
I gotta watch that
ask for? Well, there's surprisingly a lot, but it's not related to the show itself. It's not related to the end result. More so, it's about how that end result came to be. The issue lies in the production of the show. So, what is happening and why am I highlighting Jujutsu Kaisen? Is that how you say Jujutsu Kaisen? I feel like I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah, I feel like you are.
I don't know.
And I'm the one that usually says things wrong.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Kaisen.
MAPPA's scheduling plans for Jujutsu Kaisen are crazy inefficient, and it's not like I have their schedules and their friggin' leaked plans right in front of me. Liar! But I do know that anime production in Japan can be very stressful, very brutal. People can be overworked all the time. And What makes it very obvious that this is a thing that is happening is because of social media reaction from people that worked on the show once an episode drops. MAPPA has made animators work days before episode release, and animation is drawing, you know? It's like every frame is a drawing, or like if it's like 8 frames per second, every frame of that 8 frames per second shot is a drawing. And so you still have to take into account coloring, editing, compositing. Like there's so much that they still have to do even when a shot gets fully animated. And MAPPA has outsourced to so many new and foreign animators, and these are accounts that you can find just on social.
At this point, I'm wondering if it's harder to make a movie than making an animation, or the other thing that I'm wondering is it easier to make a 3D animation like Arcane is, like with motion capture, and then like because you have the skeleton and then you just need to skin it. 3D is cheaper. See, one thing I like about Arcane, even though it did take them 4 fucking years to make their new season. It's going to be their last season, by the way. There's not going to be another Arcane season after that, which I am down with. I'm down for things to end and to have a short shelf life. You know, a flower, what makes it valuable is that it only lives for a certain amount of time until it dies. And that's the beauty of it. You know, beauty is not eternal. That's what makes it valuable. What I liked about Arcane, they did take 4 years and that tilted me. But on the plus side, they really took their time to get, it's a polished product. It's a full-on polished, it's finished. You can tell that they went over every little detail. The songs are customized for the show, the lyrics, everything makes sense. It's a beautiful show, and I'm really happy with the end product. Blue Eye Samurai was good too. Oh, it's not 100% 3D, it's a mix. I see.
Media. It's just been a news fest on Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. That's all I'll ever call it. And we start to see terms that I've personally never seen before. Like there's emergency Genga and emergency Sakan. Sakan is short for Sakuga Kantoku, which translates to animation director, which is also known as a chief animation director or CAD. So yes, that's how cuts are described. Emergency directors. It's crazy. You got. That's like if you. Imagine if that happened to a Marvel movie, they would not hear the flipping end of it. If they had an emergency director drop in, oh my god. People were doing cuts the day before release, animation cuts. The day before release, again, you still have to think about everything past the animation. That's wild. And I remember the day all this news came out. It was building. And it finally tipped over, and then it's just the floodgates opened. Everyone on social media was like, hey guys, so literally we were like dying making this episode. This was brutal. I'm so tired. And some people were like, I'm not even proud of what I animated. And you see the reactions from fans, and they go like, oh, this Jujutsu Kaisen episode was flipping amazing. And then they read everything that happened that day, and they're like, oh, yeah, this episode of Jujutsu Kaisen is amazing, but also frick MAPPA. And that's a genuinely valid response to have. As we know, as we all should know at least,
Riot has crazy money. Yeah, true. It's probably also a Western company governed by, well, like the movie industry, the TV industry is like highly unionized and regulated. There's still some abuse and exploitation because, you know, it's show business, but there's a lot of things they're not allowed to do and they have to play by the book. And I know this because I talked to some directors, especially during the writer's strike thing, and they are crazy disciplined. They are crazy. Like, it doesn't matter if millions of dollars are on the line. If they tell you you're not allowed to do this, your production is not moving forward. Everything's got to go through them.
Animation is, hard. Animation is an already democratized process where every single step in the—
And you know what? These Hollywood studios, they got a ton of money. So, you know what? Fuck yeah. They gotta pay more money to create these movies that's gonna gross them millions of dollars. They gotta pay like their staff well. Then fucking do it, man. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about them.
The process of creating a shot is done by multiple people. Animation directors do storyboards and layouts. Key animators, also known as Genga animators, do the rough animation. And then the main keyframed animation. In-betweeners, who are the lowest in the hierarchy of animators, do all of the in-between frames, unless the Genga artist decides to animate the whole shot by themselves.
Oh wow, that's a crazy...
Hello everybody, this is the editor, just quickly jumping in to interrupt Mauricio and add a little part about animation directors that he forgot to mention. Also, if you already don't like me, I am so sorry, because I'm going to be popping up throughout the rest of the video, so sorry. Episode directors and storyboarders do the storyboards, and layout artists, alongside the animation and episode director's supervision, create.
It was insane in the 20s. I mean, even like, I think it was last year, there was somebody on a movie set, they had like one of these very heavy studio lights fall on them and they died. They died making a fucking movie. That's insane. It's sad.
The layouts. Animation directors are mainly responsible for correcting the Genga, otherwise known as the keyframed animation. This is to make sure that all of the cuts in the anime look consistently on model and that the motion is up to par. You can 100% find other sources, sites, blogs that have far more detailed information than I'm currently giving you. I'll have some recommendations for you throughout the video, but we'll get there when we get there. At least other shows have concrete animation directors for their episodes, unlike Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. If you don't like me, I'm sorry, I'm going to be popping up more, so if you're ready to die, just do it. It's not gonna stop.
Then that moves on to...
Me too, I always thought it was multiple animators working on a scene. Like, I pictured that sort of in like a line, you know, like a factory line, and then one person, you know, they do the sketch, then the next person outlines it, then the next person would fill it, and the next person would color it, and I thought it was all segmented that way, but I imagined like a ton of people working on it.
Colorers, we got background artists working on that too, and then it has to be composited together. Every single step in the process is hard and arduous, and a bunch of people have to collaborate, corroborate, work together to make sure that everything is looking as good as possible. Like, I'm creating my own indie animated series, Interstellar Ranger Commence. I've had to dip my toes into the animation process and pipeline, and I apply my minimal 2D pipeline knowledge, but extensive 3D pipeline knowledge to allow the show to run smoothly. But it's a small indie thing, you know, it doesn't scrape the bar of like massive anime productions. And as it is, it's still pretty damn difficult despite it being a unique, relaxed process of what industry animators do. Animators look for that banger, sexy, perfect quality in every shot and intricate detail in every movement and shadow. Trust me, certain anime fans...
Talking about Jujutsu Kaisen, I just got a call from the courier, the delivery person, and my mangas arrived. Let's go! I bought more mangas because I finished already reading the 3 Jujutsu Kaisen manga that and now I need more. But the problem is volume 21 isn't available on Amazon. I'm sad. I bought 3 mangas from this cute like indie manga shop. It was so cheap and no taxes. And I wanted to support them, but they didn't have the further novel, so I had to buy the rest from Amazon. But volume 21 is missing.
Will go insane online if a shot isn't like 110% the greatest thing they've ever seen.
So there was one episode in JJK that was like roasted by fans. It was episode 14. Honestly, I don't remember the episode at all, but they said that the quality animation was bad. There was a lot of like still frames and stuff. I actually don't remember it.
No! No! No!
And I've noticed a lot of non-anime shows, specifically in the West, as that's where I reside and that's what I consume, use certain shortcuts and more simple looks to prevent certain kinds of time-consuming labor. Sort of like how anime style can get away with like a lower frame rate sometimes. It plays with 8 frames per second, 10 frames per second. A lot of shows, instead of animating tiny little details or having characters wear complex clothing, just keep it simple.
I fucking love Adventure Time. This show's such a trip.
But anime doesn't have certain luxuries that those shows have. And I don't know if y'all know this, but anime production, the majority of studios still animate using paper. Yeah, paper. Like...
Wow.
Paper, not toilet paper. That was messed up. That's like a flipped up comparison. Not that paper. I don't have paper on me.
Oh, he also has toilet paper roll on his desk. I did that too. No shot.
Hold on.
No way!
They animate on this paper.
How? You guys told me
Animation
it
is
was
democratized
digital!
already. What certain anime fans consider to look bad or worse than the source material are shots that take hours, days, weeks to fully complete in a pipeline
The
that
thing
already
is-
abuses
The thing is, in the manga, like, some of these fights are way less fleshed out than in the animation. Like, it's cool to see them animated in different ways. Sometimes the animation studio takes some liberties, but I'm reading JJ Kid right now, and some of the fights, like, I have no fucking clue what's going on. I'm like, I think somebody's getting hit here. It's a bunch of blurred lines. Hey, I still enjoy it. I'm here for it. Like, I don't want people to kill themselves making an animation for me.
time schedules and overworks their animators. Okay, let's rewind time a little bit. Let's go back to MAPPA. Let's talk about Masao Maruyama. He originally worked as a producer for
Why is it a bad image in the Far East Asia? His art quality kind of dipped later in the manga? Oh shit, really? Maybe he got burnt out. Because I only am reading the manga after the show left off. So I kind of want to compare the episode 17 fight scene with like the manga panels, because I was like, when I watched it, I was like, how the hell did he draw this? Seriously, how the hell did he draw this? Like, how? I was really wondering that.
for Madhouse, who created works like Trigun, Paprika. Is it Paprika? No, it's Paprika, right? Yeah.
Paprika.
Death Note. Heck, even the first season of One Punch Man. Maruyama left Madhouse
gotta
to
finish
create
that.
MAPPA because of the corporate pressure and restrictions that had slowly started to grow. However, in 2016, Maruyama left again, this time MAPPA. Because guess what? The same exact shit was happening to MAPPA as well. And so he gave the studio to a guy
Wait, why is he-
called Manabu Otsuka.
Uh-oh, is he the anime villain?
Now, Manabu Otsuka is, in my opinion, a little crazy. Up until 2016, MAPPA had been creating titles to pretty good success. That is, until Yuri on Ice came out. Yuri on Ice released, it was an international success, even in Japan, which was odd because the show handles LGBTQ themes pretty blatantly. That's not a factor you always see contributing to an anime success, so of course this was, revered and rightfully praised by the world, essentially. And so then MAPPA became a more recognizable studio to everyone. However, MAPPA quickly started to nosedive into what we know now as the standard of their conditions. And Manabu, quite frankly, decided to make some pretty whack financial choices for the studio. And now, MAPPA is kind of worse than Madhouse ever was. Actually, scratch that, reverse it. That's debatable, and you'll see why in a second. Well, not a second, in a couple minutes, but keep watching the video. Manabu Otsuka made a statement recently on wanting to create works on par with KyoAni and Ufotable in both shorter time and higher quality, and that's just unrealistic with how things are running. KyoAni, Dragon...
That's a misconception in JP context. Stuff like Yuri, BL, I don't know what BL stands for, etc. aren't necessarily LGBTQ. Oh, that's interesting. We just label things. We have this, we just label things very differently, huh? Oh, boy love. Oh, okay.
Made, for example, just to show they've made Silent Voice. That's Kyoto Animation.
I didn't like Silent Voice. I know, I'm gonna get flamed for that. I don't like the animes that make me sad or make me think too hard. I don't watch animes to cry. My life is already sad. I watch animes to escape.
It is, right? Oh my god. It is, I'm not insane. KyoAni has some of the better work-life quality in Japan for anime
Thank you,
production.
Blackest.
Also, KyoAni releases like one anime a year compared to 6 to 8 that MAPPA pumps out, and you always hear production issues with these
Shouzo! I love Shouzo!
MAPPA anime. And you start to see a pattern emerge, a cycle. It happens almost yearly with anime fans. We hear about the terrible conditions in these studios, and then people are like, oh,
upset, and then
that
they forget
sucks,
about
that
it.
blows. But then they keep pumping out bangers and bangers, and then people are like, you know what, that's flipping peak, and they forget until it happens again. And it's like a cycle. Anyways, I get upset about that. I
mean, the thing is, retracting your support or boycotting these animes won't help the studios either. They'll have even less funds to go around.
Animators getting shit on by the company, then they post their work, and then on Twitter, they get shit on by the fans. It sucks, okay? Like you hear Attack on Titan ends, and everyone's like, thank you, MAPPA. And it's like, I get it, but maybe let's say thank you to the animators instead, not this f***ing company. According to an animator who reached out on Twitter, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 took 4 months to animate.
Oh yeah.
And if that information
See, called it. 4 months. 4 months.
is inaccurate, there's still historical proof that MAPPA has been crunching their animators. Like, for example, Attack on Titan. According to CBR, which I think is Comic Book Read. Put Comic Book Read also in the website. Guys, I don't know what website I'm going to. In this article by Michael Lacerna, it says that in a now deleted
I really like this video so far. This guy's doing a great job.
tweet that was originally posted on February 7th, episode director and animator Teruyuki Omine stated, "I went home for the first time in 3 days,"
What?
implying that he had been at
Dude, it's a prison. Your office is a prison. You know, I used to watch a lot of fashion documentaries, and fashion kind of has the same mentality as, you know, show business and anime, where it's like, you don't go home till the work is done. Like, it doesn't matter how you're gonna do it. You gotta do it because you got no other choice. But at least in the luxury industry, even though like these dresses, they take hundreds of hours to work on, sometimes thousands, at least they have these, like they have during the fashion week and the rush periods, they have like masseuses coming in, and they do like all these kinds of treatment because they know they're like bent down over a desk, you know, with doing very fine work, very precise work. So you're usually squinting your eyes, it's very small, and you're bending over your desk. It's very bad for the back.
the office working for 3 days straight. 72 hours. But what's wild is that this is normalized in Japan. This
Yeah.
is just a thing that happens.
It shouldn't
And this is
be.
where I want to shift from critiquing MAPPA to just critiquing the entire anime industry because it's brutal out there. Firstly, keep in mind that animators are paid almost nothing. Scraps. Remember when I mentioned in-between animators earlier? Okay, we're bringing that back. According to Vox, in-between animators earn around 200 yen per drawing. That's less than $2.
Wow.
This wouldn't be a big deal if they could draw like 200 drawings a day, but a drawing takes like about a little more than an hour sometimes. So,
Wow. Ouch.
Hi, me again.
Jeez.
Since we're on the topic of statistics for the anime industry, I want to direct your attention to this Twitter account, @YuYuCow, who is the main writer and admin for Sakuga blog. Over on both their account and the site, they release lots of information about the industry, and more recently, the yearly report from Janica, which I'm probably butchering the name of, which runs surveys for people currently working in anime, and has tons of info on the labor reality of the industry. I forgot to mention,
need
they
to
also
follow
run
this
Sakuga
account.
Boru, which is literally the site I use to get most of the clips I show off in this video. You
Oh,
get the point. That's
this
all I
is a
wanted
lot
to
of good
say, but
resources.
definitely check it out. It's incredibly informative, and their team's efforts for the blog are much appreciated. Okay, back to the video.
Is Editor Chan single? I don't know. Let's ask her. Sometimes the author of these videos watch my reactions. So if you do watch it, ask Editor Chan if she's single for my chat. All right, thank you.
now the Japanese
Back to the
Animation
video.
Creators Association created a survey of the average incomes of workers in the industry. This is from 2015, okay? But you have in-between staff getting paid less than $1,000 monthly, with around $10,000 yearly. Even an animation director with an average age of 38 years old earns an average of $35,445 yearly. And when I say dollars, I don't mean yen by accident. No, this has already been converted. They get paid that much. And an average animator's income, you will always see this online. The average is usually around $25,000 yearly. When MAPPA was hiring more animators for Chainsaw Man, remember Chainsaw Man? They promised a monthly pay of $2,100 a month.
I heard this anime was like really cool in terms of animations. There was like a lot of beautiful shots.
Which by anime standards is a pretty big amount of money as a starting salary, being an even higher pay than KyoAni and Studio Ghibli. They spent all this money on a fancy office specifically for that show, but to me it feels like they did all this to entice new and excited animators to then just pump them into the machine of anime creation. Now remember this opinion I have, one that many people share. It'll come back later. And this situation affects animators in more ways than one. Animators are artists, true artists that create out of passion, and that's why even me, I would be like, okay, yeah, overtime, sure, yeah, I'll do that just to make sure that my work comes out great. I'll work one day a little extra. The issue arises when overtime is like every single day, and when these artists are just not rewarded for it. These anime animators, they are hardworking. They want to see their work pay off, but despite how much freaking work they have and how much they grind, sometimes they don't even get to see that payoff. They don't have the time to create work they're proud of, and they don't have the time nor the health to be happy when episodes are released with unfinished work. The animators for this episode in particular, despite these conditions, did such an incredible job with some of the best animation we've seen this year in anime, but you can't really celebrate it in its entirety when the people behind it really had to struggle and push through because the show is so badly managed. And work culture in Japan is
it sours your joy a little bit, makes you feel guilty about enjoying it.
It's very rough. It's something you always see, people sleeping inside.
I heard some kind of knock, but I don't know if it was in the thing or not.
Studios, they don't see their families too often. This isn't just anime. This is like work in Japan, by the way. There's an anime called Zom 100 which highlights this. It's about this worker who is just brutalized month after month in this terrible...
And I think I read about this one, and ironically enough, some of the people working on this animation for this show that's criticizing the work culture was being overworked too.
Company until finally when a zombie apocalypse happens, he's like, oh, now I'm free, which is so funny because he was actually more constricted in this work environment compared to a zombie apocalypse where everything's gone to shit. It's a brilliant story. It's great. It's ironic that show is having production issues, so it had to be delayed. The show went on hiatus in September 26th, and it'll return on December 25th. Christmas! Yeah! Oh, shit! Jingle bells,
you know what?
jingle bells,
I think I'd rather they go on a hiatus than push through super impossible deadlines.
Sorry. And you constantly hear about animators being overworked, and sometimes they straight up just...
You know what? Sometimes I remember back in the days when I was reading like the weekly Bleach chapters and I was like up to date, you know, back when I was young, a long time ago. I'm joking. I'm not that old, okay? I'm not that old. I'm young. I would get upset when there was like, you know, you're like, yes, it's whichever day, like Sunday, there should be a new chapter out. Then you check, you Google, you know, the chapter, and then you look and there's no chapters. And they're like, oh, the team is on a break this week. We'll see you guys back in 2 weeks. And I was like, no. But you know what? I was being spoiled. I was being greedy. I take it back. They can have their break.
Die. As reported by Anime News Network, which is a great site, by the way. A Madhouse employee, you know, the studio that produced shows like Freeren and Overlord, an employee straight up passed out in the middle of the road. He was overworked and just knocked the hell out. And dude, do you want to know how much he worked? Guess.
Don't know. It's 72 hours a week.
He worked 393 hours in 1 month.
What?
Wait, oh my god, dude!
Even if you do 60 hours a week, that's 240 hours. So what? He did like what 70 hours? What number did he say? 393 hours per month? That's 98 hours a week? That's almost 100 a week?
Okay, hold on. Let me check that. How many hours in a month? There's 730 hours in a month.
What?
Dude spent 730. Oh my god, hold on. 730 divided by 2. He worked... More than half his month was work. He was just work... Oh, what? Dude, what? Bro. He spent more than half the month working there. He was working on a show where the storyboards were finished like a month before.
That's including the hours you sleep. That's including the hours at night where you're supposed to sleep. That's crazy.
Or it was supposed to broadcast.
Shower.
So they had to compact a 3-month production schedule into 1 month. No. How does that even happen, dude? During the time he would sleep.
Yeah, but It's like, if they want to do that, okay, sure. But they gotta pay them triple the amount. Like, if it's overtime, it needs to go up. Oh, apparently my delivery's here, 1 sec. That's what the knock was, yeah. I was freaked out because of the Camilla clip we watched earlier.
Sleep at the studio for days, only going home to have showers. Bro had possibly racked up 3 million yen of unpaid overtime, but
Some people, I mean, I don't know. I've talked to somebody that works in the movie industry, and they are like the person that works right under the director. They're like the director's right hand, the one that's like calling the shots with the crew, and they get paid like $1,000 per day, USD. That's a lot, but they have to do it every single day for months on end. Like every single day. Sometimes they so they have this rule, she told me, where you're not allowed to, they have to give you at least 10 hours of sleep between 2 production calls. That's not a lot, considering you need 8 hours to sleep. But they do it, so they have to separate the days. They have to put at least 10 hours between day 1 and day 2. So people have time to sleep. But the problem is they don't count in transportation time. So if you're called on a set that's like a 2-hour drive back and forth, you barely have time to go home, sleep. You sleep for a couple hours, you shower, then you gotta do it again and again and again and again for like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. No matter how long it is. I can never do it. That's a crazy, you have no life during those times. Sure, you rack in a lot of I feel like it'd be okay to do it. It'd be doable if it was small, like spurts of time, like small amount of time. No, not spurts, sorry, burst. If it was short bursts of time, it'd be totally doable. You're like, yeah, hell yeah, this week I'm only gonna work. I'm gonna save so much money. I'm gonna make so much money. But months on end, sometimes in the middle of nowhere. The Revenant, it was filmed in Canada. Imagine filming in the snow every single day for months on end in the middle of nowhere. Oh boy.
Madhouse isn't gonna fucking pay that. They have a cap for how much they pay their people. So the guy had to commence a collective bargaining process to attempt to get the money he's owed, along with an apology from the studio. Oh my god, oh right, and the dude, he went back to work the day after he collapsed. Dead ass. They told him to stay home, but like, at that rate, like, you feel like you have a responsibility to this work that you're working on. It's like your project too. So he went back to finish it the day after. Bro. And this employee worries that he may have lost his chance to ever get promoted, but he cares more about speaking about this publicly and openly and saying, hey, I don't think this is good. I don't think studios should be doing this. The reason why he really wanted to just bring this out in the open is because in 2010, a production assistant working for A1 Pictures was overworked.
Oh yeah, about the part where he says this guy's like might be losing his job. You know, he might be losing his opportunity to get promoted. Remember that whole bit where all the MAPPA animators came out on social media and spoke about the bad working conditions? I tried looking for those tweets. Besides the one that I bookmarked that I showed you guys earlier, it's probably gonna go in a different video highlight. All of them were deleted, guys. All of them were deleted later on. I tried to Wayback Machine some of it. I didn't find them. I found the transcript of it because some articles reported on it. Every single tweet was deleted. And it's been rumored that after this, MAPPA Studio may have made them sign some NDAs. There has been no confirmation of that though. But I feel like it could make sense with them. They probably got in trouble or they got told to delete them.
So hard, he became depressed and committed suicide. He doesn't want that to be the norm.
No.
I don't think any sane person should want that to be the norm.
That's
the
awful.
A1 Pictures guy worked 600 hours in a month, dude? There's only 730 hours in a month. Does the
no.
600 account for sleep? If the 600 doesn't account for sleep, that's insane.
That's insane.
Hold on. If 600 doesn't account for sleep,
Make
730 minus 600. If this is the time for sleep then, because 600 hours you're awake working. If 600 hours you're awake working, the 130 hours left is what you have to sleep. Divide that by 30, which is like the average days in a month. That's a little more than 4 hours. That's not 5 hours. That's like a few minutes more. I'm getting a headache just from freaking thinking about that, man. Holy shit, dude. The lawyer for the staff member that passed stated, harsh working conditions surrounding animation workers have been a big problem for a while now. The government encouraged...
Why do they not have more budgets for the animes? I don't get it. I'm sure some of them gross as much as movies. That can't be right. That can't be right. We're gonna watch another documentary after that I've watched before that goes into these details. And that documentary really marked me. I think about it a lot. I watched it back in April. And it's very good. I wanted to watch it with you guys. I wanted to show it to you.
Encourages animation businesses to present an image of a cool Japan. It's unforgivable to export the products of sweatshops. What's indispensable to the anime industry is a decent working environment. He's correct. And to me, in my opinion, this reminds me of what MAPPA did to entice new animators to jump aboard their ship. Hey, look at these pretty offices for you to work at. We've got improved pay. But those niceties don't excuse poor management, which leads to the situation we're in now. Anime director Daiki Nishimura on Twitter said that A1 Pictures is not at fault. The current state of the entire business world, that includes A1 Pictures, is at fault. And yes, that is very true. You're right that the entire business world, including A1, is at fault.
What is A1?
But yeah, it includes A1. A1 is at fault. The Madhouse employee that collapsed, from earlier, stated that people have been asking me if I'm trying to destroy Madhouse, but that's not what I want to do. I just want working conditions to improve. And that's what I think I'm trying to get at with this video. I'm critiquing MAPPA because they're the ones that are causing a lot of shit recently, but I don't want to just critique MAPPA, I want to critique the entire industry. Because I don't want people killing them.
MAPPA's probably getting more scrutiny. I'm sure there's tons of studios that operate like MAPPA. Some even worse, but because they have some very popular titles, people are becoming more aware.
Themselves slaving away over an animated show. I want artists to be happy with their finished work. I want their finished work to look the way they want it to look. You have people that worked on JJK episodes going, oh yeah, did you like the episode? Great. Yeah, that's like partly done. It's not even our complete vision. And Manabu Otsuka, the MAPPA guy, casting a net with multiple popular IPs and doing them all as soon as possible, taking show after show with movies thrown in there, that's not gonna help. All it does is create a toxic work environment where animators are overworked, underpaid, and sometimes projects just flop. For Chainsaw Man, MAPPA invested all their production costs to create it. With most anime productions, they're funded by multiple companies that are known as a production committee. So it was a bad idea to just do this out of pocket. According to Otsuka, despite that investment being a success, it didn't have the same impact as Jujutsu Kaisen, which was made right before Chainsaw Man. And Blu-ray sales for Chainsaw Man were not that great. Straight up, it's documented, some fans in Japan, they just did not like the show, which to me is crazy because that show is beautiful. So it contributes to lower sales, and it sucks, man. And just think about all the money they spent. They have different EDs. The EDs are different, but also they're all different songs? That's so much money. But now Manabu wants to make up for that slack. Like I stated earlier, he wants to surpass KyoAni and Ufotable in this race to be the best. And in the process, the workers at
they like to cast a wide net and pick up as much titles as possible. They throw a bunch of shit at the wall and see what sticks.
MAPPA are just getting overworked.
Now, you might be wondering, is there a way we can support these animators? Well, even though it doesn't directly contribute to the industry itself...
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So, what do you do if you want to support these franchise, or these animators? Because I was like, what if I buy a manga? Is the mangaka receiving a portion of this or no?
This account, @Animators Support, runs an organization where people can help support animators to improve their working environments. Here are some quotes from the site. Because animators, and new animators in particular, have such a hard time making ends meet, we open the Animator Dormitory, a dormitory where animators can live for less than $250 per month, including rent, utilities, and internet. At the dormitory, we also offer art workshops taught by veteran animators, where our residents can network with and gain knowledge from individuals outside of their place of work. For our first music video called Back to You, we were able to pay our animators double the industry standard on average, ranging up to quadruple the industry standard on some occasions. They also post videos on their YouTube channel, where animators themselves sometimes make appearances to sit down and chat about the happenings of the anime industry. This video here was one I found super interesting and very entertaining, and these two were so charming to watch and gave some useful insight into how animators perceive these situations and what the inner workings of anime production are really like. Go and check out these guys and chip in if you can to help animators get the support they need.
Honestly, if they do just want to get their money back so
With Blu-rays is the best way to support them, but who the fuck has a DVD? I don't even have a DVD player.
desperately, just release Ice Adolescence. You know Ice Adolescence, the Yuri on Ice movie? Yeah, so Yuri on Ice has had a movie in the works for years, and there's been zero information on it for so long. There's not even a poster on it on the website. It's like it doesn't exist. I don't know what's going on. I'm pretty sure based on the fact that they finished JJK0 in 4 months, maybe there's a chance the whole frickin' movie's done. Just release it. But there seems to be issues going on behind the scenes that are preventing it. Maybe I'll make a video on that. I don't know. Depends on how well this video is doing, but...
This is completely off topic, but I was actually watching the trailer earlier to get the footage, and like, the composer didn't fuck around. He knew what he was doing. He did that shit so well. It sounds so good. Just, you can hear like 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Honestly, if they do release that movie, that's like waking up a sleeping giant, because the Yuri on Ice fandom is insane. They're ready to friggin' not literally anything Yuri on Ice related. Yeah, when that comes out, that's definitely gonna be huge. I mean, that being said, if they haven't actually animated Ice Adolescence at all, never mind then. Take it easy on the animators, they already have so many projects going on. And even worse, I'm worried that the anime industry is starting to focus on AI. Like, by not paying animators what they're worth and overworking them.
Yeah, about AI, sure, AI-assisted tools can help them, but the thing is, studios are gonna use this to make the employees more productive instead of increasing the pay per employee, as they should have done already.
Studios can save money, but another way they can do so is by replacing these artist roles with AI that scrapes the art of real artists. You hear the excuse of, oh, there's a labor shortage, and I say to that,
see, now that's some bullshit.
Like this article by Matthew Magnus Lundin states, the labor shortage cited as the excuse to use AI is based on the false assumption that there aren't enough people who want to work in anime. There's so many freaking animators that want to work in the industry just doesn't want to pay them anything. Which studio already used it in a short? And I've been told it's already being used in EDs. I'm concerned about how it's slowly seeping into the industry, because let's be frank, we all know the majority of companies don't give a shit about the artists or the art. They just care about profit. End of story. Back to MAPPA. As of right now, they haven't released Ice Adolescence. They're still overworking their animators. They have, you know, Vinland Saga. They got One Punch Man probably coming out. They got so much more stuff coming out. And I don't see it really stopping. And it's scary. You know, I wouldn't be upset if they treated animators and workers fairly, but they're not. How they're going about things is crazy. I don't know how it's still going on. It's been going on in the anime industry for decades. And I can't really even see it changing anytime soon. So if anything, I hope this video is able to open the eyes of people that didn't know this was happening. I hope this video was as informative for you as it was informative for me making it. So yeah, thanks for watching.
It's kind of depressing, isn't it? Video by Brown Table, MAPPA and the Dire State of the Anime Industry was really good video. Loved it, love watching it. gonna give it a like and gonna subscribe because I want to support videos that are well researched and well put together. And you can tell this video had a lot of efforts put into it, research wise, and they added these cuts with animation, with editor chan and all of that. Yeah, really good. Hey, you! Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button, and I'll see you in the next video.